A case study of teachers' experiences while implementing the latest version of the Eureka math curriculum in the state of Louisiana, presented by Melissa Lein Authement under the supervision of Dr. Sarah Pratt through Baylor University. Today, I'm going to discuss the problem statement, purpose statement, methodology, overview of findings, implication, and distribution of materials. The problem statement centers around the implementation of reform-based education, which is activating students' prior knowledge in order to learn new material, as well as moving teachers from the sole holders of the knowledge to the facilitators of conversation. Teachers must endure frequent changes due to continual improvement in the mathematics curriculum. This causes stress and anxiety. Curriculum changes have occurred since the 1900s. The latest example of the curriculum change is in 2010 with Obama administration's implementation and creation of Race to the Top Act. As a result, the Common Core State Standards in Mathematics launched a restructured curriculum reform across the United States. This created core shifts in mathematics curriculum reform and included students using prior knowledge and student discourse to facilitate understanding of new concept. In response, in 2010, the Louisiana Department of Education created a structure to implement specific reform-based curriculum. One of those curriculums was Eureka Math. In St. Tammany Parish Public Schools in southeastern Louisiana, they experienced many curriculum changes, specifically 3 curriculum changes between 2017 and 2020. Between 2017 and 2020, only schools labeled as a Tier 1 intervention school were placed on a specific curriculum as prescribed by the state. This for K through 12, for kindergarten through 5th graders, was Eureka Math. In 2019, they decided to have more conversation regarding this option. And by 2020, they decided to implement Eureka Math in the district to all schools that provided K through 5th grade instruction. 6th through 8th grade classrooms implemented Ready Math, while 9th through 12th grade implemented Springboard. Therefore, the district set a goal to select a single Tier 1 curriculum to implement from K through 12th grades by 2023. Should this occur, it would now be the 4th curriculum change for teachers to receive since 2017. The research indicates teachers face many challenges when implementing a new curriculum. Little research exists surrounding the obstacles teachers encounter when implemented a mandated curriculum. The types of evidence that is found in the literature that revolves around teachers implementing new curriculum includes resistance to change, professional development, lack of professional development and lack of quality professional development, and the removal of teacher self-efficacy and teacher autonomy within the classroom due to the prescribed intervention curriculums that are mandated upon teachers. So in order for change to be successful, teachers must feel that buy-in, they must have that sense of self-efficacy, or you see teachers reach that resistance to implementing change. Purpose statement. An understanding of teachers themselves and how they experience their work and the ways it is changing is vital to understanding how teachers can implement change successfully, according to Hargraves in 1998. This case study aimed to understand teachers' experiences while implementing a mandated curriculum in southern Louisiana. The Louisiana Department of Education requires 4th and 5th grade teachers in St. Tammany Parish Public Schools to implement Eureka Math. In 2020, the St. Tammany Parish Public Schools required all schools, whether they were Tier 1 or not, to implement the same curriculum. Therefore, teachers bear the responsibility for student growth. It's navigating change while teacher stress and anxiety continues to increase, specifically in the COVID-19 pandemic. And understanding teachers' experiences is going to be incredibly important. Therefore, the research question is, what are the obstacles teachers experience while implementing a mandated curriculum? The methodology that I used was by implementing the theoretical framework of situating Hargrave's 1998 theory involving teacher change within the broader frame of educational change using Godson's 2001 theory of educational change. Gottson describes educational change through external, internal, and personal. Teachers are the personal change agent. And according to Hargraves, the change agent of the teacher includes three different components: change, time and work, and culture. So through the merging of these two frameworks, it helped to guide this study. Gottson's account of teachers as change agents opened this door to explore the change paradigms presented by Hargraves. Change, time, work, and culture are crucial components to teachers' implementation of change, and this created a structure to allow teachers to share their experience implementing a mandated curriculum. The structure also provided the organization of the data collected into three groups, which were change, time and work, and culture. Qualitative research gives a voice to a population or a group. A descriptive case study design was appropriate for this research to understand real-world experiences recounted through the teacher's lived experiences as affected by the mandated curriculum. This design focused on individual teachers who could communicate their experiences. This was the best design for my study because the primary focus was to interview teachers to gain their experiences and their lived experiences as math teachers implementing this mandated curriculum. Descriptive case studies include a natural setting, use the research as a primary instrument, engage in multiple methods, and seek out numerous participant perspectives, according to Cresswell and Poth in 2018. To capture teacher experiences, I utilized teachers through the site selection of St. Tammany Parish Schools, and I used teachers implementing Eureka Math, 4th and 5th grade teachers who were certified, ages 23 to 65, and had a valid teaching license. This sampling allowed me to select 4 very different teachers within the St. Tammany Parish school system to gather in-depth data. Data collection and data analysis requires strategic planning. Cresswell and Post state that data is analyzed by the researcher and described as lessons learned from studying the case. The collection of questionnaires and interviews led to the analysis phase. Hargraves provided the codes necessary for the interviews. The 3 areas identified again were change, time and work, and culture. These specific codes allowed me to sort out the data effectively and lead to my findings. Organizing the data into time, work and change, and culture allowed me to find these 4 specific thematic statements that were selected. So overall, every single one of my participants indicated that there was discrepancies in pacing and implementation of the curriculum and the curriculum's pacing, as well as a lack of time and inability to plan strategically. There was a lack of resources indicated by 3 of them. All 4 indicated that an increased support, whether at the local school level or at the district level, was needed. And then 3 of the 4 felt that teacher autonomy was missing in the implementation. And all of these things, if they are enhanced or better, would allow teachers to implement curriculum more effectively. Therefore, evidence from the study provided several implications to support the implementation of the mandated curriculum, and I broke these down into district and school level implications. At the district level, they all discussed that lack of support and communication, and they all noted that their concerns would not be heard, or even if they voiced their concerns, they felt this fear of being reprimanded. Therefore, this case study showed that teachers do not think they are supported by their administration, and creating strategic outlets for teachers to provide feedback and input would allow teachers to have a positive experiences implementing this mandated curriculum. So one of my recommendations is that we need to create teacher cohorts within the district. These cohorts would be grade level and subject level specific. They would include teachers from the highest to the lowest to the average performing schools within the district. They would meet once a month and they would be funded meetings. The meetings would allow teachers to collaborate and voice concerns and successes. So being able to voice those concerns, being able to voice the successes that they're feeling gives teachers that autonomy that they're missing. It gives teachers time to discuss with other schools what is their pacing, what is their planning, what are the resources that they're using, what are the types of support that they're receiving, what are the types of support that are needed. And ultimately, by creating these teacher cohorts, these teachers would be able to present these ideas and then would also be able to have one leader from each of the grade level subject level specific cohorts that could then go back and discuss the findings and discuss the teacher concerns with the school district administration. This would help bridge the gap between teachers and the district administration. And ultimately, the cohort would allow teachers to discuss additional resources that supplement the teaching of the mandated curriculum, as well as talking about support, planning, and all of that. Another recommendation, and this kind of bridges that from district level to school level, is having one administrator on each campus who is knowledgeable by attending the curriculum trainings with the teachers. Several of the participants discussed that their administration had a lack of knowledge of their curriculum, and therefore when they were pushing pacing or talking about planning or trying to help, they weren't actually benefiting the teachers because they didn't understand the curriculum, they didn't understand the pacing or the implementation of the curriculum itself. And so this created a lot of miscommunication between the teachers and their administrators. So this could be implemented on the district level. And then it would create that natural support from administrators between district and school level administrators. And finally, at the school level, the disconnect between the teachers and the district was felt overwhelmingly. But also the district, there was a disconnect between teachers and their local and their school level administration as well. And while one of my participants discussed really a positive experience, they indicated that that experience was not shared with most, if not all, of their peers throughout the district. So the first school level recommendation is for the administration to create time for grade level planning. And this is one thing that my participants stressed was more important than professional development. So unlike the research previously that stressed professional development, my participants noted that having time to collaborate and plan and discuss with other teachers implementing the same thing and hearing from them is actually more beneficial for them implementing the material correctly. They talked about a professional learning community, but again, all four of my participants had very different ideas of what the professional community is supposed to look like. Along with different ideas, all participants described what the scope and sequence looked like at their school and how they're supposed to implement that scope and sequence within their school and the expectations of their principals as well. The final recommendation is for administrations to create more opportunities for teacher input and autonomy. All four of the participants noted that they did not feel their administration understood the expectations from the curriculum. Teachers are knowledgeable and teachers are professionals, but most of the participants describe not feeling either of these things. Therefore, school administrators should give teachers input and voice consideration in decision making. This would increase the positive experiences felt by the teachers. So implications of findings. So the four main things are the teacher cohorts, giving teacher autonomy and teacher voice, collaboration rather than the professional development, and district level support and understanding. And at the school level, administrator content training and grade level planning. So this study revealed several key findings. First of all four participants discussed time and support as significant factors in implementing a mandated curriculum. This was also supported by Hargrave's theory of change. Second, teachers are resilient change agents. However, lack of time needed to implement the required curriculum and lack of administrator support, which goes back to Hargrave's culture, affects the teacher's implementation process. And third, the push to stay on the scope and sequence negatively affects the student's learning, and as noted by three of the participants, creates more gaps in learning for their students. Third, the literature discussed in the literature review indicated that curricular reform continues to cycle through changes. Teachers implement the differences regardless of the level of support or training received, because teachers are resilient and teachers will implement what they need to. Now, whether that's met with the resistance or not is another story. Another implication of the study found that access to resources would enhance teacher effectiveness, and teacher autonomy is also incredibly important. Teachers feel like there's a lack of teacher input and voice regarding the decision making. They also think there is no autonomy when it comes to an understanding of the needs of their students. Self-efficacy, as talked about by Bandura in 1997, motivates teachers, and teachers are more motivated, according to McCormick et al. In 2005, when they feel successful, and therefore their implementation is going to be more successful. So finally, the study revealed that even with these obstacles, teachers remain resilient. While each participant indicated different challenges of implementing the mandated curriculum, not one of them noted they felt like giving up or quitting. Therefore, while teachers are battling a lot, and these implications will help them be more resilient and help them to be successful in implementing further curriculum, teachers are going to continue to do what they're told to do. However, it does remain to be seen how sustainable relying on teacher resiliency will be in the future. Therefore, the study is beneficial for school campuses and districts to implement change now before it is too late. Distribution of materials. So distribution of materials, my target audience is obviously the school administrators in St. Tammany Parish School System, as well as the district administrators in St. Tammany Parish School System. The goal is to disseminate this information. So I would start by talking to my local campus principal and administration, and then taking it to the assistant superintendent, presenting it to them as well. I would also like to create a professional presentation to distribute through the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, as well as submit my information to the American Educational Research Journal. The dissemination of this study to journals and conferences allows the study to reach a larger audience. These opportunities will also provide for collaboration and expansion for additional research. I want to thank you for taking time to listen to my presentation. I really hope that you now have an understanding of reform-based education and how it affects teachers implementing these changes continuously. These are my references, and if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.